Am I the butthole? Wild_stay7454 says, am I the butthole for contacting my husband's job without his permission? For background, my husband Kyle and I have been married for 3 years and am 5 months pregnant with our first child. He and I are 30 and 29, respectively. Following a head injury he received from a car accident last year, Kyle has had epilepsy. He probably has a seizure once every 3 months, even with medication. Yesterday after I got home from work, I heard Kyle fall in the bathroom, and when I went to check on him, he was seizing. Kyle was working from home when this happened, and his work team had a big project deadline coming up, so he had also been swamped with work. Kyle was feeling super woozy and out of it after the seizure. We decided that he needed to take it easy for the rest of the day. At one point, he asked me to get his glasses from his office, which I did. While getting his glasses, I noticed that he had 50 plus NEW messages from various supervisors and coworkers. I didn't read any of them, but when I noticed how many messages were popping there were, I messaged my cousin, one of his bosses, privately and said that, while he is fine now, Kyle adjusted a seizure and has probably not going to be available for the rest of the day. My cousin was understanding and said not to worry about it. When I told Kyle that I messaged my cousin, he was upset with me because he didn't think it was okay for me to message them without telling him first. He yelled at me for crossing a boundary, something he later apologized for. His thinking is that it wasn't my place to message his supervisor because he never told me that it was something I could do for him. My thinking was that I didn't want his coworkers to think that he just went mad for no reason, or that something was seriously wrong with him, but I can see how this might have been overbearing. I apologized to Kyle already for the sake of making peace, and I won't reach out to anyone on his behalf again. I honestly just want to know if I was in the wrong here, because I didn't have any bad intentions and I feel like he overreacted. Am I the butthole? Edit to at, my husband's supervisors were already aware of his epilepsy. I didn't tell my cousin anything he didn't know already. For what it is worth. Jess says, no. You did cross line contacting his job, even if his boss is your cousin, however it was out of love and caring. He got upset and yelled at you. You both apologized for your actions. I hope your husband is doing better. Sarita_Sai07 says, agreed. Contacting a spouse/partner's job for them is pretty much only acceptable when the person is literally physically incapable of doing so themselves. And this was almost that, but not quite. I see a lot of people saying the cousin angle muddies the waters, but not really. In this context, he was still Op's husband's boss first and foremost. Saying, hey, do you want me to let cousin know? Or I notice you've been getting a lot of work messages. Do you want me to send any kind of notice? Just let me know what you want to say, and I'll type it for you, or anything like that would have been much better. But it's understandable, and given the context I don't think this impacted his reputation at work or anything like that. But it sounds like it was a very stressful situation all around. Husband yelled when he shouldn't have and apologized. Op now has a better idea of what she should/shouldn't do if this ever happens again. Outlandishness Dry 703 says, people treat you different when they know that you have seizures. Maybe he didn't want his bosses know, especially that he had one while working. Now bosses may second guess him, not give him promotions as fast, etc. Epilepsy is scary for some people. They start acting like you're some little delicate thing, question you if you're able to do certain things. After you come out of a seizure, your memory is shot. Your head is throbbing, and you have no strength. Most times you bite your tongue and that is painful. 1 minute everything, if cool and life is good, the next, you feel like you just got hit by a bus. Don't take anything he says right after a seizure personal, or his brains aren't back in order yet. You shouldn't have mentioned anything about seizures, just said that he had an emergency and will contact you later. Am I the butthole? Waste _ public _ 9374 says. Update, am I the butthole for not inviting my mom to my baby shower? Hi everyone. It's been a year since the first post, and in honor of my son turning 1 today I thought I'd give you all a little update. First, my baby shower went off without a hitch. My ex-stepmother ended up backing out at the last second due to her own personal problems at the time, and she convinced me to invite my parents. For the most part they behaved, don't know if they were completely sober at the time, but my aunt and brother kept an eye on them. Second, my son was born May 16th at 9 pounds 15 ounces and 21 in long. Has such a healthy bow today I fricked UPL baby I couldn't be prouder. For those who had a concern about my mental health, while I still struggled I've been taking my medication, continuing therapy and leaning on family. My mom still hasn't met her grandson. I have a strict rule stating no drugs, and you have to be completely sober around my son. They thought I was joking till I blocked them. My dad is currently 6 months sober. Mom is leaving for a sober house today. I'm proud of the first step. Lastly, I want to thank everyone in the last thread. Your energy and thoughts carried with me throughout the party, and it ended up being amazing. Thank you all. Imothro says. 9 pounds 15 ounces and 21 in long. Good grief girl. You birthed a whopper of a baby. Are you okay? Congrats on your new arrival, and I'm so glad things are going smoothly. 3. Waste _ public _ 9374 says. Lol I had a 20-hour labor, 7 hours and I asked for an epidural, 15 hours later I had to have a C-section cause his big head got stuck. Whoever said the first baby is the best, lied and I just wanna have a talk. Imothro says. Nearly 10 pounds and that was your first baby? Wow, that's honestly amazing. Your oven cooks well. So glad you made it through okay, but I'm sure that was not the funnest day of your life. Close bracket. Psychanthing cough name says. Congrats. I love reading happy updates. It sounds like everyone's made fantastic progress in the past year. Sirebatter _ pause says. This is a great update, and congratulations on the birth of your son. Having read your original post, I do have to wonder if your parents had something to do with your ex-stepmom backing out at the last second and convincing you to invite them instead, but it sounds like it worked out regardless. Tinami3 says. Congratulations. I just celebrated my first child's first birthday recently, and I also have mental health issues, so I totally get that feeling of pride and abundance of love, gratitude. I'm truly so happy for you. Shout out to your aunt and brother for protecting you. 3 and you should be so proud of yourself for setting up difficult boundaries and sticking to them. I'm sure it was not easy and likely will continue to be challenging at times. And you're taking care of your health, putting your oxygen mask on first, which is wonderful and powerful. You're doing great, mama, be proud and confident. Happy belated Mother's Day to you, and happy belated birthday to your little one. Choice _ evidence 1983 says. Whoa. Good grief. Congratulations on that baby of yours. I haven't read your original post, but glad you had good progress with the situation. Am I the butthole? Specialist Law 4642 says. Am I the butthole for asking my mom, where is her money contribution to my wedding? I'll admit the title does sound bad. I got married to my husband 2 months ago. We saved up for a bow today. I fricked UPL big wedding, but decided on a small intimate option. On Friday we had a small intimate ribbon ceremony with a marriage officer, and on Saturday we had a bow today. I fricked UPL lunch at a farm to table restaurant. In total Friday came to 3k and Saturday came to around 10k. We were completely happy with that, because it was a fraction of what we had saved. Before the wedding we made it clear that we didn't want gifts or anyone to pay for themselves, but my mother, who I had only recently started talking to 2 months prior to the wedding, after going NC for a long time, decided to basically demand that we tell everyone to give us money for the wedding. We did not and ignored her. 2 days before the wedding my Phil gave us 3k. We didn't want to take it, but he literally put it in my husband's hand and walked away. He does the same thing on my birthday, as I always refuse. On the Saturday at lunch, when we had all finished eating and we had cut our wedding cake, Phil disappeared and went to pay for all the drinks. So we paid the bill and my mom shouted at us for leaving a tip, which is ironic because she's a waitress. Reason being is that there was already a 15% service fee because of the amount of people, but we still tipped. Mill had gone up to one of our servers and got a copy of the bill. She sent my husband the amount of half the bill. Mill also got us our wedding cake. My dad gave us 2k and we got 1k from my grandma and 1k from his grandma. Safe to say no one listened, but we were still so grateful and made sure to thank everyone. Issue is my mom had gone behind my back and told everyone that they had to contribute because we couldn't afford the wedding. We later spoke to everyone about it and they knew it was nonsense and said they were going to give us the money either way. All of them knew where we stood financially because we were very open about it. Had we paid completely by ourselves we would still come way under our wedding budget that we saved. After talking to everyone I went to my mom and asked why she went behind my back and demanded people give us money, and all she could say was how disappointed she was that they all skimped and gave you so little. So I turned around and asked where was her money contribution to the wedding, and it better be thousands the way she's carrying on. This made her angry and she called me a selfish $TCH and an asshole. She's been harassing me over text to apologize, but I don't even want to talk to her. My dad said I should apologize to keep the peace. They are no longer together. I only asked her where her wedding money was so she would leave me alone. I'm not mad that she didn't give me money. I'm mad that she demanded everyone else give us money and belittled them on the amounts they gifted us, but wouldn't even pay for her 2 friends that she invited without talking to us first. Am I the butthole? Should I apologize? A quick edit so no one gets the wrong idea. I do not tally up money gifts and compare them. I included amounts in this post because my mother belittled people for how little they gave when in reality everyone was so incredibly generous despite us not even wanting gifts, and the only reason she knew the amounts was because she made it a point to go and ask everyone what they gave us. I did not personally discuss what everyone gave us. Incartris says, amazingly, despite the title, NTA. A perfect retort. Well done. It's the me Mario _ says, NTA, so let me get this straight, she gave you nothing, brought 2 uninvited guests along, demanded others give you money behind your back, and, Bizatch, ed about the amounts they, not she, gave. And is now harassing you for an apology from you? Yeah, frick that. Woofbot says, NTA. And for your future benefit, it may be worth thinking about going NC with her again. Eastern World Linus says, NTA. Sorry, but your mom sounds like a horrible human being to be around, and I'm glad your dad left her. Pacled Pineapple 9 says, absolutely NTA. Your mum would have been back to NC for me after inviting her friends to your intimate wedding. Also congratulations. I hope you had a wonderful time equals. Caro SCP says, I guess she's usually happy spending other people's money for them. NTA for calling her out. I'm glad everyone she pestered hasn't had a problem with it, or at least aren't blaming you for your mother's actions. Agitated Law 5981 says, NTA. Your mother sounds exhausting and I'm sorry. She goes behind your back and against your wishes, makes a big deal about where the money comes from and how much it is, but also invites her friends, doesn't pay for them, makes a stink about everything, then has the nerve to still be outraged and offended when you call her out on her BS. Toomple Monkey 68 says, NTA and time do go NC again. Jennifer_R says. Yikes. So she ignored your wishes, chivied other family members into donating cash, criticized them for not giving enough, but somehow forgot to do that herself? NTA. As to whether or not you should apologize, that really depends on whether you want to stand firm and risk breaking your relationship with her. She sounds exhausting, so that might not be a bad thing, but it should be a conscious decision. Personally, I'd ignore her and see if she calms down. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe